Hello and welcome to Morris Park. I'm Clyde Morris. And today we're going to do a little mini staging here. And yes, you see it right, I'm outside here today. It's about 65 degrees out, really warm, very breezy. I think we might get a little rain today, which we need quite a bit of rain. Our park here is so dried up. We got rain yesterday and the day before, which was very helpful. So that's a good thing. But anyway, I'm going to do this little staging here, and normally I wouldn't be planting things this time of year, but the plants I'm going to plant today and stage up actually are in the house. They stay in the house. They've been raised in the house under a light, and that's where they'll go back to, so I'm not really too worried about doing this, as these are actually actively growing. Now this is going to be the staging of Sarpedon Island. Now, some of you are probably saying, what in the world is that? Well, Sarpedon Island is where, in mythology, Medusa and her Gorgon sisters were exiled to. Now, my little Medusa babies are needing a home. As you see, they're pretty well packed in there. They're going to need some room. They're getting a lot bigger now. As you can see those little fat heads on them now, especially that one. Now, some of those older arms, you can see they're kind of yellowing off at the tips and dying. I don't think that's a big issue, since, as you can see, there's so much new growth in the center. I think that's just their immature arms, as they're a lot thinner. And I think what they're doing is they're naturally just getting rid of them. But as you can see, there's a lot of new growth there that isn't yellowed out and is doing just fine. And it's kind of been doing this over the last few weeks, just getting rid of these little old arms. I'm not going to take them off today. I'll wait till they yellow back a little bit more and then I'll trim them off. Today I'll just go ahead and worry about getting these guys all planted up on their new little island. Okay, let's start out here. Now I'm going to probably use some of these rocks that are already in here, as they're pretty cool rocks. And I've got some others I'm going to stage up with it. Now I'm not going to use all the rocks you see here. It's just giving me a little bit of a variety. The main one I'm going to use is this little megalith here, as I call it. And I've specially worked it so that it'll fit nice and flat in a pot. And I've taken a grinder actually and ground down the whole bottom of this, so it'll actually sit nice and flat and not wobble and fall over in the pot. For my pot today, I'm going to use this really nice bonsai pot, and I've had it for about 40 years. I think it would just be great for this little mini staging. Okay, so we'll get things going here. I'll move my rock over here. And get some of these little rocks out. Yeah, there's a couple of accent rocks I need to get out. Those all over here. Tag. I imagine there'll be a little bit of bleeding with these as I work with them today. Usually you can't hardly go through a potting without making a euphorbia bleed. Just remember, all folks, just wash your hands when you're done doing these euphorbias like this, because they do bleed that toxic sap. And I'll try to be careful as possible not to injure these little guys. Some of them have some pretty unusual roots going on here, I can see. But I'd say they do need quite a bit more room. As you can see, they're really in there, a whole bunch of them. But look at those roots, how they've curled around and so forth. And basically, these are caudiciform plants. The main body becomes the caudex. And as you can see, they have some pretty wide little fat roots there. Okay, I'm just going to kind of loosen this up. I don't think it'll be any problem getting these out of the pot, since this pot's glazed on the inside. And usually they'll slick out pretty easy. And yeah, it's going to come out real easy. I'm just going to loosen this up. They'll probably just come right out of there with it. It's just so loosed up. And there you go. Okay, now that I've got these loosened and ready to go, look at the root on that one, how it curls around. Pretty neat. In case you wonder what happened to my finger there, that's when I was grinding the bottom of that big megalith down. And I cut my finger on the grinder. I got ground there. Okay, I'm going to leave that loose like that. I'm going to get my little pot in here. I may save some of these lava rocks too. There's nothing wrong with those. In fact, the soil in this was relatively brand new. These plants are only 6 months old. And it's just amazing how large they've gotten in 6 months. It's one of the reasons I really like growing a lot of euphorbias is that a lot of them in their seedling stage, they grow very fast. Whereas cacti seem to have a slower pace to them. Okay, now I've got my 2 little pieces of screen in there. I'm wanting to do is take my megalith back here like this and give it kind of a center of attention there. But it's probably going to be buried up to here if I bury it that far. So I'll probably put a little bit of soil down first. And then I'll go ahead and lift it up so you can see a little bit of it. But so it still will be stable. Got some soil over here. Make sure that screen is over the hole. My soil is kind of a homemade thing. See a piece of broken pots and everything in it. I really don't have the access to pumice here, and to get pumice mail order is very, very expensive. So I tend not to use it, even though I would love to use it. I think it would be great. Pumice or Academa or any of that is kind of hard to come by for me. So I have to kind of get what I can get. Well, my video cat's here. Now I'm going to kind of pile this up a little high too. Hi, Big O. Hi, Big O. Oh, Big O wants to say hi. Big O wants to show off his new resplendent winter coat he has now. Hello, big buddy. How you doing? All right, we'll get back to this staging here. Big O can kind of hang out with us like he does. I'll go ahead and fill this. And then I'll get a feel for how high I want the soil. Actually, I kind of would like it mounded up a little bit. These little medusas will be relatively easy to repot in here since they're coming out so easily out of the other pot. They're not even root bound in this other pot. As far as root space, they had plenty of root space, but their arms need to stretch out a little bit. And it's kind of like a bunch of siblings sleeping in the same bed. Their arms are stretching out and hitting each other in the face. So we're going to fix that. I don't want this to sit up too high, this megalith here, because the simple fact that I don't want it to fall out of the pot and be a problem. I did one other staging with some Euphorbia decarii spirosticha and put a little megalith kind of in the middle of the pot, and it's kind of wobbly. I have problems with it falling over sometimes. So I kind of want to get this one a little more fixed in there. Get that blown out. I think it's going to work pretty good. I may lift it a little as I go just to get a little bit of a feel for how high I want it. I want some of this rock to show, but I just don't want it to fall out. Okay, let's see if I can just kind of get some of the dirt out of there. A little more toward the center. Ease that up a little bit. Still seems pretty good. I'm glad I made that flat bottom on it because it's going to make it a lot more stable in the pot. Okay, now I think we can go about kind of putting our medusas in. And these little plants, they're really pretty healthy. They got good roots on them. I'm going to have to kind of dig down in a little bit. I'm going to have to remove some of the soil I put in. Dig down a little bit. Or better yet, I think I want to hold this one. I'm going to center this one up. I really like that one. I'll get one of these other ones out and go over to the side here. They really do have some great roots on them. Whoops. I'll put this one back here. Make sure those roots are in there real nice. A little more there. Okay. Got that one settled in. Next one. There's 5 of these in all. And I'll be putting rocks and all in between these and to kind of separate them up. The arms can kind of rest up on the rocks. Alright, we'll center this real nice one in the middle. This I think is my favorite one. It's got those little fat kind of branches and everything. It's really cool. So I really like it. So I'm going to center it up. I have to remove a little bit of that soil while I get it in there. This has got the curly Q root. Whoops. Gonna settle it up against this rock. Wood chips in there from that soil. I kind of pull them out as I go. Make sure the arm of this one's out of the dirt. Kind of buried down in there. Okay. They're still going to be in contact with each other a little bit, but this is going to give them a lot more room. Okay. I'm going to get this video done before it rains. I can feel the rain drop here and there. This is a pretty good size one too. It's got really long arms on it, but it's starting to change. It's like it's going to morph, where the arms are getting fatter and shorter actually. So that's why I think it's going to eliminate all these little tiny arms, because these are just it's juvenile arms. Okay. That's probably the smallest one, this little guy. I'll put it kind of up front here. Looking good. I may kind of shake these around a little bit, try to kind of get their place. A little soil here and there. Okay, got one more, and that's this big one here. Maybe I'll just take out some of the soil, make it a hole. Megalith is still good in there. It's not going to fall over and smash anybody. Make sure these branches don't get buried. Don't want that. I've actually seen some pretty cool stagings done with medusas, so I kind of wanted to, with multiple medusas, I should say. So I kind of want to do my own thing, kind of, sort of. Make sure they're not buried too deep around the neck. I really don't like that. Okay, this is good. There's Big O coming back for a visit. We got to have our video, Cat. Just look how big this guy is. He's like a big lion. Alrighty, I think we're ready for some rocks now. Blow some of the excess dirt off. Whoops, Big O! Don't spill the rocks there, buddy. Oh, Big O. He's gotta be in the video, you know. Can't do the video without Big O. I didn't see him when I started the video, but I knew he'd be coming around. He just hears me do a video. He wants to be on YouTube also. He wants to be out there when the world can see him. Okay, I'm going to start putting my top dressing in now. Gotta be careful, get these tucked in. Hello, buddy. You can check out what I'm doing? Hmm? He wants to be a part of it. rocks in here. I use some of the finer broken up material in here too. I smash my own lava rock, and that's to fill in these little areas that you don't want too big ones on, and get some of that crush in there. Big O's trying to help here. Look at your eyeballs in that, buddy. Be a good kitty. You be a good kitty. Big O. Okay, now you're getting you're getting into my planting tray here, buddy. Gotta stay out of the tray. He's a funny guy, Mr. Big O. Got to have the video cat. I noticed there's some of the other people out there that have their video cat. Like most, the one I can think of right now, most notably, is Cookie on Cookie's Cacti, little kitty. I think Lynn of Desert Plants in Avalon gets a neighbor cat visiting her now and then. Likes being in videos. Yeah, lava rock's going in there pretty good. Well, I won't be watering these for about a week or more, probably 2. I want to let them settle in. I didn't see that I injured any of the roots, but you never can tell. You could get some injury in there you don't see, and if you go to watering them too quickly, they'll end up rotting. I don't want to rot these little guys. These are special. These are my hybrids from Euphorbia gorgonus and Mini Medusa hybrid from Botanic Wonders. All right, we got our lava rock in there, I think. Lost some of the fine dust. I think we can start putting some rocks in. Place some of these rocks around. You know how I like to do little rock piles. Watch so they don't push everything out. Everything's kind of loose when you first do these, but as they grow and as you water them and so forth, they really kind of settle in, and you don't have so many of the problems with them. Maybe a little rock in here. Got some pretty cool little rocks here for it. A little bit of rain right now, but I don't think it's going to affect me too quickly. Looking good, looking good. I'm going to make sure I get some of that rock back here too, so my top dressing, I kind of missed a spot. And it makes sure that that megalith stays in place, and I think it's actually pretty solid. The only thing about staging with rocks, like I like to do, it does get heavy. But with a little mini staging like this, you don't really have to worry too much about that. Let's see here. Pull that one out. Maybe put this other one in. These guys will kind of just grow up over the rocks and all. That's pretty good. Make sure everything settles in there good. I like the color contrast in the rocks too. I try to choose lava rock with kind of multiple colors in it. Have the kind of black and brown and red and kind of purplish looking ones and stuff. I think it makes for a great look, the contrast of the colors and everything. But anyhow, about got this done. Just in time, I think, because rain is coming. So I'll tag there. And we'll pick up the stuff. And I'll give you a look at this. Put all my stuff aside here so I can take it back in the greenhouse. Come off the table. And I believe we're done. Oh, big O's got one on my foot there. You okay there, buddy? Hmm? Yeah? He is a big kitty, isn't he? Anyhow, here it is, folks. Sarpedon Island, home of the Gorgons, the Medusas. Looking pretty good. A megalith in there. Everything's really stable. And there it is. 5 Gorgon babies. My little Medusa hybrids. Gorgonus crossed with Botanic Wonders Mini Medusa. The Gorgonus being the mother. Alright, I'll give you updates on this from time to time. Hope you enjoyed this little staging. I think this is really cool. I've had this in my mind for a while. This is Clyde Morris from Morris Park. I hope you have a good day. I'm going to get out of the rain. Take care.